test this? Testing, testing. I'm sorry, are you guys? Good morning. As surely as we belong to the universe, we belong together. We join here to transcend the isolated self, to reconnect, to know ourselves, to be at home, here on earth, under the stars, and linked to each other. So join me now and let us worship together. Our opening hymn is in the Teal hymnal. We're going to be in the Teal hymnal twice today. 1066, O Brother Sun.
All shining round
we bid you welcome, who come with a weary spirit seeking rest, who come with hope in your hearts, who are seekers of a new faith, or who enter this hall as a homecoming. Whoever you are, whatever you are, wherever you are on your journey, we bid you welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Youngstown. My name is Sarah Lowry. I'm a worship associate here, and I want to extend a special welcome to those of you who are visiting with us for the first or second time. We invite you to take a packet on the welcoming table in the back and fill out the connection cards so we can keep in touch. We also invite you to join us for coffee and refreshments after the service downstairs in Channing Hall, where we will be happy and eager to answer questions about church activities and programs. We offer religious exploration classes for children and youth. Kathleen Hogue is our director of religious exploration and will gladly answer any questions you have about UUYO programs for children, youth, and families. We do have a couple of announcements that I want to draw your attention to in the back of your order of service. There is the Constitution discussion group after service downstairs. And on Thursday, April the 11th, there is a family bowling fun night at Westside Bowl. Questions, please see Kathleen for more information about that. Once again, so grateful that you are here in person or virtually on Zoom, and welcome to UUYO. It is my pleasure to invite Kate Ross to deliver our chalice lighting today.
Confession, I kind of geek out over the moon. Our solar system consists of the star we call the Sun, the planets Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, 146 moons, several dwarf planets like Pluto, as well as comets, space rocks, and chunks of ice. Our moon is the fourth largest moon in our solar system. Jupiter has 2 moons that are bigger, and Saturn has 1. Despite only being the fourth largest moon, the ratio between the planet and the moon is by far the largest at about 26% the size of Earth. Our moon ratio is so large that some astronomers argue that we are actually a binary planet system. I prefer to think we're a planet and a moon, but that's me. I also prefer to think that Pluto is a planet too. Don't tell. Even if you added up all the sizes of the almost 100 moons orbiting Jupiter, the ratio of moon to planet would be a mere fraction of our ratio. Our moon has a palpable impact on Earth. We all know that ocean tides are caused by the gravity of the moon. Our moon also slows the rotation of the Earth. Without the moon, the Earth would spin so fast that we would have a sunrise every 4 to 8 hours. Imagine a 4-hour day. We'd be awake for 4 days and then sleep for 2. This marble is 1.4 inches. And this moon is a ½ inch, which is a proper ratio between the Earth and moon. If they were in the sky, they would be about 50 inches apart. At that size, our sun would be about 12 feet, 9 inches apart, and there's a representation of the sun hanging on the balcony behind you. Uh-oh, my phone went to sleep. This is why I usually write out my chalice lighting. At those ratios, the Earth would be 1,370 feet from the Earth. So this is not a proper distance ratio. Our church is not that big, although maybe someday it could be. The sun is 400 times bigger than the moon. That means that we take the moon and we double it in size 400 times to get the size of the sun. It seems like that's not the right ratio, but it really is. I did the math and I confirmed with actual learned astronomers. It's 400 times. The moon is also 400 times closer to the Earth than the sun is, creating the exact distance and sizes that we get to experience an eclipse. We are the only planet in our solar system that gets to experience an eclipse, where the moon completely covers the sun for a period of time. The shade from the moon will enter the U.S. territory from Mexico into Texas, where the eclipse shadow, will be traveling at about 1,600 miles per hour. This is why eclipse chasers are not literally driving with the eclipse. They're just driving to someplace to see the eclipse. The shadow will travel faster and faster due to the curvature of the Earth. By the time the shadow enters Indianapolis, Indiana, it will be traveling about 1,850 miles per hour. It will fly by Rochester, New York at about 2,359 miles an hour, and it will exit Maine traveling about 3,041 miles per hour. Now, I know that you already know that you cannot look directly at the sun while the eclipse is happening, but when totality occurs, you can take off your glasses and admire the beauty of the world around you in full eclipse. If you're lucky enough to be where there is not light pollution, because those lights that are on light sensors are going to come on with the eclipse, you will see a world that is absolutely magical. The stars will come out, the birds will sing their evening songs. As soon as that sun starts to peek back around the moon, which we call the diamond ring, you need to put your eclipse glasses back on. If you have not experienced an eclipse, it is magic, pure and simple. Now, I know that I'm talking to a room full of very intelligent fact checkers. I did my best to make the sun 12 feet 9 inches. I measured, I cut, I measured, I sewed, and it came out a little short. Please don't judge me. I did bring a tape measure. If you want to borrow it and confirm for yourself, you're more than welcome to. And one last thing, a full solar eclipse can only happen at the exact moment of a new moon, because the moon is between the Earth and the sun. Thank you. Oh, I need to light the chalice.
And for those fact checkers out there, if you want to rise as you are willing and able and check out that sun in the back, I also invite you to greet your neighbors and celebrate and share maybe where are you going to view the eclipse.
Kate, I want that shirt. Yeah, if you haven't done it yet, you should all go get a eclipse shirt. So today's story is called Total Solar Eclipse, a Stellar Friendship Story, written by Jamie Sandberg and illustrated by Kathleen Gattikin. I'm usually a sunny sort of star, but today I'm totally out of sorts. Tomorrow, during a total eclipse of the sun, Earthlings are going to break my biggest rule. Don't look directly at me. Breaking this super duper serious safety rule is enough to get my hydrogen gas sizzling. But that's not even all. One of my favorite friends is to blame. During the total solar eclipse, Moon will hide my light by playing a cosmic game of peekaboo. Moon totally knows how to get in the way. First, Moon will change my shape for hours during the day. Shadows will start to look strange. Then there will be an odd glow and a sunset from every direction. It will look like I've disappeared. I love being the center of our solar system. Earthlings say I'm especially good at my extra important job. Will Earthlings think less of me when my light goes out in the daytime? I need to learn more. I know who to ask. Dear Earth, I have a friend who is teensy tiny a bit worried about the solar eclipse tomorrow. Will Earthlings get hurt? What do you know about this total eclipse of me? Warmly, Sun. Earth sent a speedy reply. My forgetful son, as I always say, my Earthlings know your safety rule and will protect their eyes when they look to the skies. Your friend should write to Moon. Gratefully yours, Earth. I really don't want to speak to that self-centered satellite right now, but I guess one short note won't hurt. Moon, why are you hiding my light tomorrow? Your not jealous friend, Sun. To my surprise, I heard back quickly. Hi, Sun. I've been expecting your letter. As I always say, Earthlings will think we're both totally stellar. Try to chill and look forward to a spectacular show. See you around, Moon. Chill? What a laugh. I'm always scorching hot. Moon is obviously jealous because I'm the star around here. Oh no, I've barely had time to rise and shine, and Moon is already moving in. Millions of Earthlings are staring directly into my intense light. Why aren't they getting hurt? What are those glasses everyone is wearing? This is all very strange. It's not exactly bad. It even looks a little fun. I still have a serious sinking feeling about what's coming next. You're really crowding me. Do you have to be so close? This is actually happening. Totally. I can't look. Sun's disk is totally gone. Eclipse glasses may come off. I don't believe what I'm hearing. Earthlings love me in the dark. In the full shadow of Moon during totality, they see my solar corona. I'm shining in a totally different way. I need to see this for myself. I'll take one tiny peek. Wow, our diamond ring trick is neat. Eclipse glasses back on. Earth was right. Earthlings didn't get hurt. Moon was right too. We were both stars today. There's just one thing left to do. Dear Moon, together we shine. See you tonight. Your friend always, Sun. The end. Wait, I have one more message. It's for you, Earthling. Dear Earthling, I may forget things from time to time, but I was right about something from the beginning. Looking directly at my bright light without a special filter like solar eclipse glasses is dangerous. The only time that it's okay to look at me without your solar eclipse glasses is during totality. That's when my dark is totally behind moon. You know it's safe to take your eclipse glasses off when you can't see any part of me by looking through them. When my bright light starts to peek out from behind moon again, our diamond ring trick, you must put your eclipse glasses back on right away. Protect your eyes when you look to the skies. Your sincere star, Sun. P.S. Each spot on Earth only has a total eclipse of me about once every 375 years. Capture your memories on the next page so you won't forget like me. The end. I'd like to have all the children come up now. Okay, so this is the part where we do our covenant. Anybody want to take one of the sheets? So turn around, and we're going to start reading it, but the congregation's going to read it with us, so don't worry. It's all in your order of service. Ready? Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. And now we will sing us out to class, and those words are also in your order of service. Just follow the B. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
Good morning. Will the greeters please come forward? Each month, we share our non-pledged collection with an organization that is involved in making our community and UUYO a better place. This month, we are sharing with Friends of the Mahoning River. The Friends of Mahoning River strives to improve the condition of and connections to the Mahoning River watershed, including restoration of ecological balance, generation of equitable and sustainable economic growth, and access to a variety of healthy recreational activities. Please visit the Friends of the Mahoning River on Facebook or their website to learn more about their work, upcoming events, and how to get involved. We now receive the offering that sustains the life of this church and our work in Youngstown, the Mahoning Valley, and the world. If this is one of your first visits to our church, we invite you to let the plate pass. Your presence with us is a gift itself.
I invite you to settle into your seat, soften or close your eyes. We're going to do this meditation a little differently today, with some help from Thich Nhat Hanh. So as you get settled, gently hold in your hands your order of service. Take a moment to feel the paper, its softness, its smoothness, the crease of the fold, its edges. Now, if you are a poet or a creative soul, you will see clearly that there is a cloud floating in this sheet of paper. Without a cloud, there would be no rain. Without rain, the trees cannot grow. And without trees, we cannot make paper. Breathe in and out. The cloud is essential for the paper to exist. If the cloud is not here, the sheet of paper cannot be here either. So we can say that the cloud and the paper inter-are. Interbeing is a word that is not in the dictionary yet, but if we combine the prefix inter with the verb to be, we have a new verb, interbe. Without a cloud and a sheet of paper, they inter-are. Breathe in and out. So look into the paper even more deeply and we can see the sunshine. If the sunshine is not there, the forest cannot grow. And in fact, nothing can grow. Even we cannot grow without the sunshine. And so we know that the sunshine is also in this sheet of paper. The paper and the sunshine inter-are. Another breath in and out. Looking even more deeply into the paper, we can see that we are in it too. This is not difficult to see because when we look at that sheet of paper, the sheet of paper is part of our perception. So we can say that everything is in here with this sheet of paper. You cannot point out one thing that is not here. Time, space, the earth, the rain, the minerals in the soil, the sunshine, the clouds, the river, the heat. Everything coexists with this sheet of paper. As thin this sheet of paper might be, it contains everything in the universe in it. Breathe in and out. Notice the paper again. How does it feel? Knowing the universe is in the paper, does it feel heavier? Does it feel lighter? Can you feel the heat of the sun in your hands that made the tree, that made the paper? Take a moment and breathe. Let thoughts come in and pass like the clouds. And breathe out.
Our first reading today is from Thich Nhat Hanh. It is an excerpt from The Insight of Interbeing. Everything relies on everything else in order to manifest. About 30 years ago, I was looking for an English word to describe our deep interconnection with everything else. I liked the word togetherness, but I finally came up with the word interbeing. The verb to be can be misleading because we cannot be by ourselves alone. To be is always to interbe. If we combine the prefix inter with the verb to be, we have a new verb, interbe. To interbe and the action of interbeing reflects reality more accurately. We inter-are with one another and with all life. There is a biologist named Lewis Thomas, whose work I appreciate very much. He describes how our human bodies are shared, rented, and occupied by countless other tiny organisms, without whom we couldn't move a muscle, drum a finger, or think a thought. Our body is a community, and the trillions of non-human cells in our body are even more numerous than the human cells. Without them, we could not be here in this moment. Without them, we wouldn't be able to think, to feel, or to speak. There are, he says, no solitary beings. The whole planet is one giant, living, breathing cell with all its working parts linked in symbiosis. We do not exist independently, we inter-are. Our second reading is an excerpt from a text by Mirja Anna-Lena Holst titled To Be is to Interbe, Thich Nhat Hanh on Interdependent Arising. Interdependent arising is the principle that everything arises in dependence upon various causes and conditions. Things are constantly changing and coming into existence and going out of existence again when conditions are right. Interdependent arising is a fundamental principle that all Buddhist traditions accept. That the true nature of existence is that of interdependent arising is the insight that the Buddha received under the Bodhi tree. This insight helped him to understand what suffering is, how it arises, and how it can be overcome, and thus offered the basis for his teachings of the Noble Fourfold Truth and the Noble Eightfold Path. Although all Buddhist traditions accept the principle of interdependent arising, they interpret it differently. Thich Nhat Hanh describes his views on interdependent arising in this passage. Looking into a flower, we can see that it is full of life. It contains soil, rain, and sunshine. It is also full of clouds, oceans, and minerals. It is even full of space and time. In fact, the whole cosmos is present in this one little flower. If we took out just one of these non-flower elements, the flower would not be there. Without the soil's nutrients, the flower could not grow. Without rain and sunshine, the flower would die. And if we removed all the non-flower elements, there would be nothing substantive left that we could call a flower. So our observation tells us that the flower is full of the whole cosmos, while at the same time, it is empty of a separate self-existence. The flower cannot exist by itself alone. But Thich Nhat Hanh does not only hold that the flower depends for its existence on everything else, and thus that the flower is empty of self-being and full of everything, but indeed that everything depends for its existence on everything else, and thus that everything is empty of self-being and full of everything. He says, everything relies on everything else in the cosmos in order to manifest, whether a star, a cloud, a flower, a tree, or you and me. And all things are mutually dependent on one another. He thus holds, everything depends for its existence on everything else. He introduces a new word, the word interbeing, to express this idea, which he describes as our deep interconnection with everything else. Interbeing, thus, is the idea that everything depends for its existence on everything else, or that everything inter-is with everything else. Or, in a slogan, to be is to interbe.
So tomorrow, something truly special is going to happen. And I know many of us have been planning and waiting for this for months. Our collective anticipation on the eve of the event is at a rolling boil. Yes, we're excited. Yes, I hope. Our excitement is soon to no longer be able to be contained, and it will spill over. That event, of course, is that the temperature in Youngstown will actually finally be within the average seasonal range for April and springtime. That is a big deal, right? Oh, and there's going to be a total solar eclipse, Seriously, though, this is the first time in Ohio where we will be in the line of totality, which sounds a little scary to me. Kind of like a summer blockbuster disaster movie, to be honest, a little concerned. But the last time Ohio had this happen, where we had the opportunity to see a total eclipse, was just 3 years after the state was founded in 1806. Scary sounding or not, This is the first time in a very long time that Ohioans will be able to see a total solar eclipse, which, like any summer blockbuster, makes it an absolutely must-see, can't-miss affair. As Kate so wonderfully summarized, that the eclipse will pass through Ohio, moving from the southwest towards the northeast tomorrow afternoon, and it will reach our little corner of Midwest paradise by around 3:15 in the afternoon. And the totality of the total eclipse will last for about 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Ohioans and visitors, hundreds of thousands of visitors possibly, within a 124-mile wide path will be able to see that total solar eclipse, and it will not pass through the state again until 2099. It's a long time. In fact, only 21 total solar eclipses have crossed throughout the lower 48 states in the entire existence of our country. There's even a map that tells us the likelihood for clear skies. Sadly, we have about a 31% chance, but even with the clouds around, science assures us that the magic of the eclipse will still be experienced by those of us who are able to watch. The disruption to our day-to-day living because of the moon scooching in between the earth and the sun will affect everything from streetlights turning on, as was mentioned, birds ceasing their singing or adjusting from their morning song to their evening song, and the temperature could drop up to 15 degrees. Wear your layers. It's springtime, we all should be. There are countless articles with advice on how to deal with the sudden disturbance to daylight, such as how pet owners can keep pets safe during the unexpected moments of daytime darkness, and where to buy and how to verify that you have the right, safe, American Astronomical Society approved kind of eclipse glasses. Hint, if you have a pair, look on the side for a number that says ISO 12312-2. Keep those eyes safe. It is incredible the amount of preparation that is going into 2 minutes of daytime darkness. That 120-second window gives us a sneak peek at how dependent we are on predictable patterns. That is, it's light outside in the afternoon, so birds know when to sing. Flowers know when to open, and bees know when to buzz. In fact, scientists are actively going to be studying changes in these consistent innate behaviors because of the interruption of the eclipse. So, while we may see ourselves as eclipse observers outside and separate from this astronomical anomaly, we, along with everything else, are participants, whether we want to be or not. Because though it may not always seem like it, we humans are a part of the natural world, directly connected to it, impacted by it, and dependent on it. Just as is stated in our 7th principle, that we respect the interdependent web of life and all existence of which we are a part. For millions of people to be able to share the same rare experience that reinforces this connectedness is truly awesome, in the sense of the word meaning to inspire awe. The path of totality is a thread that will weave together millions of moments into a cohesive moment in history. In a sense, through this shared story that will become a memory, we become inextricably connected. But, like Thich Nhat Hanh, I agree that connectedness doesn't quite fit the feeling here. Togetherness also falls a little short. Hahn's concept of interbeing captures the breadth and the depth of this level of interdependence. The example from Hahn to further describe interbeing, where he discusses the interbeing of a cloud and a piece of paper, so everything coexists within a sheet of paper, as thin as a sheet of paper contains everything in the universe on it. From our reading, interbeing is the idea that everything depends for its existence on everything else, or that the or that everything inter-is with everything else. So of course, you can see how after reading this, I ended up thinking about everything everywhere all at once. For those not familiar with the film, it is a 2022 American, and this is a quote from the description, absurdist comedy drama, which incorporates elements from several genres and film media, including surreal comedy, science fiction, fantasy, martial arts films, immigrant narrative, and animation. That's a lot, but it is called Everything Everywhere All at Once. Michelle Yeoh stars as Evelyn Quan Wang, a Chinese-American immigrant who, while audited by the IRS, discovers that she must connect with a parallel universe version of herself to prevent a powerful being from destroying the multiverse. Kind of sounds like we're in a Marvel comic movie now. Without spending too much time here or giving away spoilers, there are glimpses of interbeing in this film and the themes that it raises. Even if there are multiple parallel universes, each of them is dependent on the other at some point. This is getting heady and confusing, I know, and it's a Sunday morning and it's nice outside and our brains are elsewhere, but stay with me. Everything is going to make sense. The takeaway from all of this is that we are all pieces of paper. Each of us contains the universe and is in some way inextricably and oftentimes unexplainably connected to others. To paraphrase Walt Whitman, we are large, we contain multitudes. But how I color, cut, or crumple my piece of paper affects all others. Even the smallest change that I choose to make or not make can have an impact several magnitudes greater, even though I may never know it or experience it. So in short, what we did or didn't do, what we do or don't do, and what we may or may not do are not isolated decisions or events. They are all part of the interwoven paper universe that we share together. Or to use another term from the gray area between science and science fiction, this is the butterfly effect, which, if you're familiar with chaos theory, is that a highly sensitive dependence on initial conditions where the smallest of changes can result in a large difference later on down the line. Because we are all gathered here, a part of the same fabric of this thing called life, which, as Prince pronounced, means forever, and that is a mighty long time. We are dependent on each other. Those living now about to watch the solar eclipse tomorrow, and those who will be watching in 2099. We are dependent on each other to take care of each other, to connect with each other, to interbe with each other, which is love. Wei-Min Wang, one of the characters from Everything Everywhere, offered this pearl of wisdom in the film where chaos seemed to reign and rain down on everyone all the time. The only thing I know is that when we do is, let's try this again. The only thing I do know is that when we have to, be kind. Please be kind, especially when we don't know what's going on. Disruption to established patterns in the balance of interbeing can feel scary. That whole line of totality language, day becoming night. But it can also offer comfort. The whole cloud in the paper in the universe. We are all connected to each other, so we're never isolated and alone. To make sure ripples don't become crashing tidal waves, remembering this concept of interbeing can help us serve as an anchor to keep us individually and collectively grounded and rooted in safety together. I'm reminded of Reverend Joseph's parting words at this moment. Remember that you are loved and never truly alone. We are all connected, me to you, you to the person sitting next to you, and all of us to the sun, the moon, the sky, the clouds, the birds, the flower, the river, and your piece of paper. when something changes for one of these things, or for one of us, all others are affected. So, take good care of yourself and the people, places, and particles in your orbits that bind us together into this beautiful multiverse of interbeing. Everything relies on everything else, and so do we too. May it be so. Please pray with me. Spirit of life, ancestor of the stars and the sun, you who embrace the vastness of space and us along with it, be with us today. Hold us in our worry, our exhaustion, our grief. Keep us close as we sit with our truth, whatever that may be. Lead us to rest in the quiet, to find solace and renewal in this time of shifting light and dark. You whose arms open with the spinning galaxies, help us to make room as you do for all that is. Open our hearts to our loved ones, our neighbors, the beings with whom we share this planet. Lead us to reach out to others in compassion. Turn us toward one another in mercy, right relationship, and reconciliation. In this space filled with people among us who shine like stars, this space filled with the sparkle of love and care, we give thanks for this moment to be together. May our senses be open to the beauty of this day, this season, and this world. Blessed be. Our closing hymn is 1005 in your teal hymnal. And I was encouraged to say, in the spirit of interbeing and interdependence, just feel this one. Don't overthink it. Just go with it. It's sunny, it's bright, there's energy. Just allow yourself to be immersed in this hymn. Praise in springtime.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Reminded that we are part and participants of the universe, let us go forth from this quiet hour, encouraged to strive toward faithfulness to the best of ourselves, others, and the whole of creation. And of course, remember the one great fact that you are loved and never truly alone.